Have you ever felt that? The more connected our world gets online, the more, well, alone we can sometimes feel? Today, we're going to dive into the work of Thierry Minkowski to explore empathy, not just as some fuzzy feeling, but as the real foundation of what it means to connect with another human being.
Wow. This quote just hits it right on the head, doesn't it? It's the big paradox of our time. We've got all these incredible tools to talk to each other, but all that noise can actually leave us feeling empty. I mean, think about it. Our interactions get faster, shorter, they become fragile. Just quick texts and social media comments that, lack any real weight.
So what if we're looking at this whole problem the wrong way? Minkowski's idea is that the real issue isn't our technology, it's something much, much deeper. It's about our ability to see each other as real, not just a profile picture, but a living, breathing person with this incredibly rich inner life. And that changes everything. This isn't a tech problem, it's a human problem.
Okay, so let's dig into that feeling of disconnection. In a world where we're always in contact, why do so many of us feel like we're on our own?
That phrase right there, a subtle fatigue of listening, that is so spot on. The speed of modern life just shatters our attention into a million little pieces. We skim, we react, we scroll on. And in that constant rush, deep connections really struggle to take root, leaving our relationships feeling, well, unfinished, kind of like ships passing in the night.
So, if a lack of empathy is the disease, what's the cure? Well, it all starts with getting really clear on what empathy is and, just as importantly, what it isn't.
We all hear that phrase, walking in someone else's shoes. Let's just put that aside for a second. Minkowski gives us something way more powerful. Empathy is about recognizing that another person has this whole complex universe inside them, a universe we can never fully map out, and our job is simply to welcome that reality without trying to take it over.
So empathy isn't just one thing. It's a living three-part process. It starts with feeling, that gut-level physical reaction to someone's joy or pain. Then our brain kicks in with understanding, where we try to cognitively get what they're experiencing. But here's the crucial final step, adjusting. We actually change our behavior to meet them where they are. It's a journey, from the heart to the head to our hands. And this makes the distinction so clear. True empathy respects the other person. Sympathy can get messy. It can lead to this emotional fusion where you kind of lose yourself. And pity creates distance. It puts you above them. Empathy doesn't project our own stuff onto them. It listens for their reality.
Now, this right here is probably the most hopeful part of this whole idea. Empathy isn't some fixed trait that you're either born with or you're not. It's a skill, a competence. Think of it like a muscle. And that's incredibly empowering because it means every single one of us can get better at it.
But okay, let's be real. If it were that easy, we'd all be empathy superstars. So let's talk about the roadblocks, the very real things that get in our way.
I'm sure a lot of these feel pretty familiar. The sheer speed of everything, the flatness of talking through a screen, and of course our own baggage, our own wounds that make us put up walls. The important thing is to see these not as personal failures, but as powerful forces that are constantly squeezing our natural ability to connect.
And here is the beautiful truth in all of this. Empathy is never gone for good. It just retreats to protect itself. And sometimes, all it takes is one moment of safety, one kind word, or just someone's quiet presence for that door to slowly creak open again.
So it's easy to think, okay, got it, more empathy is always better. But the reality is actually a lot more nuanced than that. What happens when our empathy gets out of balance?
And you can see the two dangers right here. Too little empathy, and obviously we become cold, indifferent, cut off. But too much, like an empathy with no boundaries, can be just as destructive. It leads straight to burnout, to confusion, to basically losing yourself in someone else's storm.
Which brings us to the real goal here, mature empathy. This is the sweet spot. It's the art of being fully present with another person without becoming them. It's being able to accompany them on their journey without having to sacrifice yourself in the process.
This is where it all comes together. This is where empathy stops being just a psychological tool and becomes a true art. The art of being human with other humans.
I just love this idea so much. So often we try to figure someone out, like they're a puzzle we need to solve. But real connection, true empathy starts when we approach another person with humility, as a mystery to be welcomed, knowing we'll never see their full inner world, and that's okay.
This beautiful little story just captures that deeper, almost spiritual side of empathy perfectly. It's that moment of recognition, of seeing our shared humanity reflected in someone else that actually brings light into the world. Until we have that, we're all just kind of stumbling around in the dark.
So, how do we actually do this? The key is to stop thinking of empathy as some kind of finish line, some mountaintop you conquer. It's not a destination, it's a practice. It's a path you decide to walk every single day and every single interaction.
And these are some really concrete ways to do that. It starts with just creating a little bit of quiet space inside yourself. It lives in the way you listen. I mean, really listen, without already planning what you're going to say next. Each one of these is like a rep at the gym for your empathy muscle.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Empathy isn't some grand project to save the world. It's about transforming a single moment, a single conversation. It doesn't start with a big theory. It starts with a small choice to be present. So my question to you is, who can you try to truly meet today?